it's as cold as I thought it would be. That? Oh, no.
Someone do. What was that?
Must find shelter.
The inn for a drink, of course. Where else could I even go in this god's forsaken town?
I'm sorry, could you describe the smell?
Like
What was that?
This horrible monster was turned inside out and then exploded.
Did you hear something?
What did you do?
It was a minor miscalculation. I've already corrected it for future experiments.
This.
You
This
can't
is
hide
why
from me
people have
forever.
a problem with your college, Nelagar.
Winter homes, huh? I think I saw that on the sign on the way in.
Oh, for the love of Mara, what now?
In every part of Skyrim, there is
Seen
talk
some
of dragon
mean-spirited
sightings.
folk pass
It
through
is no
lately.
coincidence. We travel lightly and can escape at a moment's
What a
notice.
fascinating time to be alive. Mark me, these days will be remembered long after we're gone.
I don't think Francis and I will ever lose our spark.
The dragons are the most fearsome. Lucky for us, they don't seem to hunt along the roads.
If there's anything you need, just let me know.
One good haul.
This place, Winterhold. What is it? Where is it?
I'm afraid there's not much to be said. Winterhold is hardly what it used to be. You can talk to Birna if you need to buy anything.
If it's my
He doesn't
fate to
have
be ended
much,
by
but
a
could
dragon,
certainly use the
so
coin.
be it. Meantime,
And then there's
I'll
our
live my
little
life the way
inn.
I want to.
Most of the business we get is from folks here to visit the college. Though even that's dried up some.
We are far from home, and this is a cold, hard land.
I overheard something about the college.
That's right. College of Winterhold, just north of town. Hard to
Retire
miss.
someday. Give myself an island.
Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
How much for these prices? Wow.
See ya.
Have you seen that shrine of Azura? They say the Dark Elves built it after they fled from Morrowind. Sight to see.
Going to stop keeping a knife in my boot. Tired of getting disarmed.
Unless you're bringing me another round, you can just keep walking.
Friendly place.
Need something? Until next time. Nords are so serious about beards. So many beards.
Well, I'm at a loss. None of this makes a damn bit of sense.
Times like these, people would prefer a bit of fantasy and a happy ending over a true tragedy.
The shipwreck of the Autumn Gale.
Something
The ship
strange
that couldn't be
happens to
sank.
the ship when they
That
arrive in
immortal
the sky.
vessel whose mast was the backbone of Kine. 77 times through mighty storms and restless seas, it never failed to reach port. But somehow,
There's
on
beauty
the
here,
78th,
unmatched in all
on a
of
clear
Skyrim, to be
day
sure.
with a steady wind, it sank to the bottom of Pilgrim's Trench.
A word of advice, my friend. Do not mix gambling.
Divines only know. The
Taken
wreckage is too
together,
far
they
down
will
the
empty
trench
your
to offer
pockets
any
of every
clues.
cent.
But while we can't salvage the ship, we can salvage her reputation. And, more importantly, the reputation of my business.
Fine, suit yourself.
Not a single one. A great tragedy
Clear
indeed.
from a distant
How am
land
I ever going to
elsewhere,
replace such cheap and
borders on
skilled
north
labor?
by Cyrodiil, and the
Fortunately,
south by the
I hadn't
east
paid them their wages
and
for the last few
north.
months. That takes some of the sting out of it.
Charming guy. Did you have cargo on that ship?
No. Well, not my cargo anyway.
I heard those
But I did
mages
lose
from
family.
Winterhold.
These
The
Nords
Autumn
have
Gale
no
was my
idea.
ship,
dragons
and I loved her like a
Innocents
daughter.
see only thieves and smugglers.
No piece of wood can compare to the joy of having children.
I don't know about that. Children tend to disappoint you. The Autumn Gale never did. At least until this recent turn of events.
What
I
a fascinating
admit,
time
the
to be
dragons
alive.
are a concern.
Mark me.
But we can
These
avoid
days
them
will be
if we do not
remembered
stay in
long
one
after
place
we're
for too
gone.
long.
Good craftsmanship and a damn good captain. Torald Icewind knew the ocean like a sheep knows wool.
I would rather
By
be
being
that
shrewd.
bold in
I
elsewhere,
used to be a
but
lowly
I am
courier,
not a choice.
but then I got an idea to charge the people I was delivering to by claiming the sender hadn't paid.
no use worrying
If they
about the
refused to
things you
pay
can't
my
change.
fee, I opened the letter and sold the information to someone else. Eventually, I earned enough money to start my own shipping and delivery business.
And they are not too foul-tempered.
That sounds rather unethical.
Unethical? Oh no, there's no such thing in business. I think the word you're looking for is inspiring.
I hope you will find a warmer welcome in your travels than we have found in ours.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Ah, I love young people who are motivated to work. You can start by delivering these supplies to the salvage team. Here, take this to the leader of the team, Utai. She will handle your payment.
A ship that never sinks. But decided it would sink on that day. Insurance.
All this talk of dragons returning to the world makes me more than a little nervous.
Who is this man?
What do you need? Divine smile on you, friend. Mm-hmm.
Going to stop keeping a knife in my boot. Tired of getting disarmed. We can do it. Just give us a chance.
Bit much. That like was out of character.
If it's my fate to be ended by a dragon, so
If
be
there's
it.
anything you need,
Meantime,
just
I'll
let
live my life the
drink
way I
for the
want to.
thirsty, food for the hungry. See ya. If your business would take a look.
More like it. Salt shipmaster. That is it.
travel lightly and can escape at a moment's notice.
Still out of character, I'm sorry. They're just talking a bit too much. There we go.
They say Falion of Morthal has studied vampires, Draugr, and all manner of undead.
Still out of character.
I say, you didn't hear any loud noises last night, did you? No, explosion sounds?
No, I certainly didn't. Is there a reason you're asking me?
No, certainly not. A small experiment
won't
may have gone
send
awry,
events where
but
it's far
clearly with
away
no
from
discernible
here.
consequences.
I see. And is this something I'll need to worry about in the future?
Well, I guess I'll just have to ignore that book.
Oh, certainly, I hope not. That would be quite unfortunate for my research. I don't deal with any college applicants these days, so don't bother asking.
I'm not a college applicant. You're with the college?
No. Gods no, not for years. I left Winterhold for some time, and returned to stay here at the inn.
Mark me. These
Why would
days
you
will
live
be
here at the
remembered
inn?
long
I
as-
still have research that keeps me busy, and being here in Winterhold ensures I have access to former colleagues. All right then.
My pa used to say, there ain't no use worrying about the things you can't change. Never enough gold. Just need one good haul.
I'm going to sit by the fire and read about survival. It has been said that Skyrim itself is more dangerous than every man. The cold kills. trinkets. Woodcutter's axe. Hide for rain, for snow. Folk Reef is a forest. East March. It's warm. The rift is full of rain. I need to be careful and plan my routes, I think. I don't have a map. This is the first I've heard of these places. Better to be a living cave rat than a dead hero. This is dangerous. Ah, yes. The great poor city of Winterhold. Well, I was hoping that road would lead to some sort of anything, really. I followed the road, and here I am. Spells. Spells don't work. Magical fire isn't really fire. I feel much more prepared for the road ahead. Stay warm, stay dry, stay alert. Well, a fantastic little book. I think that book might save my life. Snow babes.
Dragons were never gone.
Nordic blood of my father.
They were just invisible and very, very quiet.
Yes?
Resistance to the frost. Well, it has been a tiring journey, but I still feel like I'm full of energy.
Elsewhere is an arid land of deserts and rocky... canyons where the sun shines warmly, always.
After coming from Cyrodiil on a boat, hunting a orca that I was lucky to find and setting up camp, I was shocked to find a blizzard. It was as cold as it was. Of course, I found myself here. I wonder if the weather has improved.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brewers. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
College of Winterhold. Appropriately named.
Kraldar's family was once very powerful in Winterhold. It's my honor to assist them
Winterhold
even
may
now.
not look impressive, but it has a very rich history.
Hello there. It's very cold outside. Mind if I come on in?
Kraldar's family was once very powerful in Winterhold. It's my honor to assist him even now. Will you be needing anything special today?
Why don't you see if Archmage Aaron is interested in joining me for a meal?
Again, are you sure? He still hasn't answered your last several requests.
Well, he's been very busy. Perhaps today he'll have some free time.
As you wish.
Winterhold was once the capital of Skyrim, you know. Quite an honor. I'd like nothing more than to see Winterhold regain its former glory. I'm afraid the Winterhold you see before you is somewhat underwhelming. I can assure you, though, that it was quite something in its prime. An early capital of Skyrim, you know. Sadly, the Oblivion Crisis took its toll on Winterhold, in more ways than one. Then, the Great Collapse swallowed most of our beloved city. Just about 80 years ago, there was a terrible disaster. The cliffs overlooking the Sea of Ghosts collapsed, taking most of Winterhold with them. In the middle of it all, the college was practically untouched. Many of the survivors were suspicious. Some believed the mages were behind the whole thing, and others felt they could have at least prevented it. Archmage Aaron assures me that his people had nothing to do with it, and I believe him. But Winterhold never recovered.
Perhaps they should do something about that. How did the Oblivion Crisis happen?
You may have noticed the college just to the north there. Very prestigious place. Mages from all over Tamriel traveled here to seek knowledge. After the Oblivion Crisis was over, many felt that magic users were to blame. Elves, to be specific. It created a great deal of tension. A good many dark elves were driven from the city, and people became uncomfortable with the presence of the college.
Dangerous?
Goodness, no. They're simply scholars. They mean no one harm. I've had several conversations with Archmage Aaron over the years. Oh, he's perfectly polite, if a bit guarded. All right, then.
Kraldar's family was once very powerful in Winterhold. It's my honor to assist
It's
you
hard
even
to
now.
recover from something like the Great Collapse, but I believe Winterhold can do it.
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim. You know, fellow who wrote the cookbook.
Cross the bridge at your own peril. The way is dangerous, and the gate will not open. You shall not gain entry. I am here to assist those seeking the wisdom of the college. And if, in the process, my presence helps to deter those who might seek to do harm, so be it. The more important question is, why are you here?
I've always wanted to be a mage. My Nordic father didn't think much much of magic, but I see no harm in a healing spell to save yourself. Perhaps he'd still be alive if you'd done that as well. When my poor father died, my dog died as well, but I'm able to summon his spirit from the shade. I don't know how I learned this power, but it always fascinated me. One time, whilst roaming Cyrodiil, I found a dead mage with a book and... I learned how to do this.
Welcome to the College of...
Pretty good, huh?
Welcome to the College of Winterhold. I am Feralda, one of the senior wizards here. I trust you found your journey to Winterhold not entirely unpleasant. Now, I must advise you that if your only purpose in being here is to complain, you would be far better off speaking with the Jarl of Winterhold. If, however, you seek something more, I will be happy to assist you.
What is this place?
Oh, forgive me. Most who arrive here do so because they have heard of the college beforehand. This is the College of Winterhold, a safe haven for mages in Skyrim, a place of wisdom and arcane knowledge.
May I enter the college?
Perhaps, but what is it you expect to find within?
Well, this book I found mentioned the mysteries of fairies.
Ah, the immortal plane. It is said to be the source of all magic. This is a noble goal, indeed. It would seem that the college has what you seek. The question now is, what can you offer the college? Not just anyone is allowed inside. Those wishing to enter must show some degree of skill with magic. A small test, if you will.
Think we both know I'll succeed here?
No, I'm afraid I don't know anything of the sort.
I'll take your test.
Excellent. A standard spell for one skilled in destruction magic is the Firebolt. Casting one at the seal on the ground here would be sufficient.
I don't know that.
No? Well, if you think you're capable of it, then I'd be happy to provide it to you for a mere 30 gold. Or you can try your luck with one of the court wizards around Skyrim. They also sell spells.
Okay.
Here you are. Now I'm anxious to see you cast it.
I'm telling you, I heard howling. Werewolf tales are
Well
true.
done indeed. I think you'll be a superb addition to the college. Welcome, apprentice. I'll lead you across the bridge. Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle Irvine, our master wizard. Please, follow me. Much knowledge lies within the college's walls.
Oh, bloody hell. This place is falling apart. What? Don't slip. Oh, don't look down. I must. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Oh, don't look down.
You couldn't possibly be the Dragonborn of legend, could you?
No.
I believe I've made myself rather clear.
Yes, of course. I'm simply trying to understand the reasoning behind the decision.
You may be used to the Empire bowing to your every whim, but I'm afraid you'll find the Thalmor received no such treatment here. You are a guest of the college, here at the pleasure of the Archmage. I hope you appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, of course. The Archmage has my thanks.
Very good. Then we're done here. Welcome to the college.
Are you Mirabella Dean? I was told to come see you.
Another new student. I'm surprised at how many of you there are lately. Well, first you'll need these. While you're not required to wear them, you may find them more to your liking than your current clothes. I'll give you a brief tour, and then we'll get you to your first class. Are you ready to begin? Wonderful. Please follow me, and don't wander off. The College of Winterhold has been a fixture in Skyrim for thousands of years. The prominent feature here is the Hall of the Elements. It's our primary location for lectures, practice sessions, and general meetings. The Arcanium is located above the hall, and the Archmage's quarters above that. While technically in charge of the college, the Archmage's responsibilities often keep him occupied. Thus, I run the day-to-day operations. Now, if you'll please follow me, I'll show you the living quarters. Unfortunately, we've had to implement more stringent entry procedures due to some problems with the local Nords. We don't anticipate any real violence, but it never hurts to be prepared. Our newest members are housed here, in the Hall of Attainment. I'll ask that you please keep your voice down while inside, as others may be working on research or delicate experiments. Now I'll show you to your quarters. You're going to be sharing space with your fellow apprentices, who you'll meet shortly. This is where you'll be staying. This bed and desk are yours. Please try and be considerate of others. Now, let's go back to the Hall of the Elements, where most of the members gather for lectures and study sessions.
This place is mine. Wonderful door. Twisted doors.
Initially, you'll be learning from Tolfdir, one of our most esteemed wizards. Tolfdir is likely already addressing the new apprentices. Go on in, and if you have any problems, let one of our senior members know. Please don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary. I've had yet another complaint. Please stop barging in on experiments in progress.
My dear, I am merely observing the proceedings.
Well then observe from a greater distance. You're making people uncomfortable.
Welcome.
Is there
welcome.
anything new
We
I
were
should
just
be aware
beginning.
of, Mirabelle?
Please, stay and
I'm
listen.
dealing with a few new research
So,
reports.
as I was saying,
Evaluating
the first thing to understand is that magic is, by its very nature, volatile
There were
and
also
dangerous.
2 items requiring
Unless you can
disciplinary
control it,
action recently.
it can and will destroy you.
Right.
Sir, I think
Keep
we
up the
all
good work.
understand that fairly well.
Yes.
We wouldn't be
Thank
here if
you,
we couldn't control
Archmage.
magic.
Of course, my dear, of course. You all certainly possess some inherent natural ability. That much is not being questioned. What I'm talking about is true control.
If there are any
mastery of
problems, let
magic.
me know. It's my job to keep
It's
things
not
running
decades
smoothly.
of practice and study.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started.
Please, please. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Eagerness must be tempered with caution, or else disaster is inevitable.
We've only just arrived here. You've no idea what any of us are capable of. Why not give us a chance to show you what we can do?
You've been quiet so far. What do you think we should do?
I think safety should be more important than...
Well, your classmates certainly seem to disagree with you.
Oh,
Now,
don't listen
if
to
you
him.
just
We can do it.
stand right over
Just give
there,
us a chance.
I'll cast us. All right, let's settle down. I suppose we can try something practical. In continuing with our theme of safety, we'll start with wards. Wards are protective spells that block magic. I'll teach you all a ward, and we'll see if you can successfully use it to block spells, all right? How do you think we should spend the remainder of our classroom time? Over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way.
Is there anything new
Now,
I should be
cast
aware
the
of,
ward spell,
Mirabelle?
and keep it up.
I'm dealing with the
Hold still. Excellent work. Well, I think this is an excellent start. I'd like you all to continue practicing with wards, please. I think perhaps we're ready
Everything's
to
under
begin
control,
exploring
then?
some of the various
Right.
applications of
Keep up the
magic
good work.
throughout history.
Yes.
The college has undertaken a
you,
fascinating
Archmage.
excavation in the ruins of Sarthor nearby. It's an excellent learning opportunity. I suggest we meet there in a few hours and see what awaits us inside. That's all for now. Thank you.
I won't be going there. I'm tired.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope.
I've had yet another complaint. Please stop barging in on experiments in progress.
My dear,
You know, this is one of a very few places where you can receive a real education in the schools of magic.
Uncomfortable.
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education. I'm afraid so. There's a problem with one of the Jarls here in Skyrim. She's been complaining of a member of the college running amok in her hold. We have, of course, severed all ties with the mage in question, but the Jarl isn't appeased. So the mage needs to be taken care of, if you understand me. I would hate to see our reputation further tarnished. The college will be here for you no matter what. We always look after our own. Take a look.
I need to go and kill someone. I'm surprised. How do you know that I'm not worse? Far too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
Archmage, the Synod have contacted us again, asking if we've any word on their researches. What shall I tell them?
What did you tell them last time?
That they had arrived, asked for information which was provided to them, and went on their way with no suggestion of further interaction.
That hasn't changed, has it? Then just tell them again.
Should we consider investigating the matter?
No, I don't think so. Respond to their request, and we'll leave it at that.
Yes, Archmage. Thank you.
Something's going on. There's more to this place than meets the eye.
Good job.
Good dog.
Are you looking for any specific volumes, Travis?
Oh, no, not really. Actually, I've forgotten what I was looking for.
Well then. Let me know if you need anything.
What's that? Oh, yes, thank you. I will. Yes?
Eleanor, the library is
Take
in
a look.
disarray. When books are strewn about here and there, it makes it impossible to determine if a book's been checked out.
I cannot afford any of these things. Except that. Found battleites. They sound amazing. I've always had a knack for conjuring wolves from the void. I almost froze to death on the way here. Ah, wow, yes. Magic! My father was so wrong. Magic is amazing. I don't have time to look at all of these books for now. For now, I'm going to thank you very much.
Until next time.
Thank you, Braxton. I'm going to try these out immediately.
Sorry. It's just the professors come in here and scatter the books without any concern for the person who has to clean up. I thought it might be more efficient if I waited until the end of the day to put the books back on the shelves.
And shall I be forced to wait until the end of the day as well? I will need to have a word with Rurog regarding the training.
Wonderful! This could save my life. Thank you, guys.
Good stuff.
Now let's see how good this cloak is. Oh, my head. That just gave me a headache.
Was there something specific you needed?
Let's just see how good this
I'm
cloak is.
positive whatever I require will be on its own in due time.
So, you don't need anything then?
Oh, my dear. Urag, you're trying so hard to help. I do hope you're not disappointed.
Yes.
No one cares. Nobody cares. Sorry about this, yes.
Get your thieving hands off now!
I'm sorry.
What do you think you're doing?
Reading a book?
You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance? Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials.
It's an impressive library.
A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact.
Any reasons I can help you?
If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations. Well, all right, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful. Fight well.
Will do.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
Confound it all! This page too! That makes 5 in total. This is unacceptable! A page from one of these texts, and 4 others, torn right from the spine. I've consulted with Urog's apprentice girl, and she insisted, rather emphatically, that none of these tomes have been checked out for years. I told the girl that wouldn't preclude a thief from browsing the cases. I don't blame her, though. It's the head librarian's duty to keep more sensitive texts behind sealed doors. Or perhaps it's the fault of the one who trained him. In either case, the result is the same. It is as I feared. Someone has managed to steal key pages from the writings of Trictus.
Who is Trictus?
You need to brush up on your history. Or stop to listen when professors are lecturing. Although I admit Travis's voice is its own sleep spell. This nameless scribe you speak of is Vanus Galarion, founder of the Mages Guild. It's unlikely Mead had anything to do with it. Although, I agree with your assessment that spirits of any kind have no place in a library. It's more plausible that Urog failed to see the merit of a controversial theory, and in defiance made the text available to anyone. My name is Olivia Moronin, a former member of the Mages Guild at the Arcane University in Cyrodiil. When the guild disbanded, many of my colleagues regrouped to form the Synod. However, their objectives do not align with the tenets Galarion and the Council established when they founded the guild. Nor do they abide by the teachings we have stood by in the centuries that followed. Theirs is an organization based on cupidity and lust for power.
think the Synod is responsible?
I have not ruled that out. Although the Synod seems more interested in securing existing artifacts of power. Galarion's research, while potentially powerful, was still incomplete. There is no guarantee that any of the 5 spells can even be crafted. This is not to imply the documents are not dangerous. The secrecy of Galarion's methods are a substantial indicator of the level of risk. However, the Synod does not have the patience nor the foresight to recognize what these texts represent. The majority of scholars are split between 2 disparate camps. Some believe the texts are worthless scribbles written by a child, one who had yet to grasp the vastness of his destiny. Others contend that the author is not Vanus himself, but a pretender hoping to profit from the mage's name. Both camps, however, are in agreement that the texts themselves have no intellectual merit. There are some, however, who attribute the text to a different origin. Not the young Trictus, but the elder Vanus Galarion. The theory states that Vanus wrote the text in the guise of his younger self, precisely so that scholars would question its authenticity. By diverting the eyes of those who seek power, it provided an extra layer of security, in addition to the cryptic nature of the text itself.
He is a very clever man. What do you think of this place?
The college itself is a breathtaking wonder, a citadel of knowledge, standing high over the waves of ignorance. It is a fortress of higher thinking, buttressing its residents from the storms of indolence. However, while the students show an alacrity to learn, I am not entirely fond of the professors, who seem far too concerned with their own research.
What do you mean?
Although the necessity for research is vital, their failure to involve students in the process is disheartening. Whether it is fear for their safety or disinterest educating them, I cannot brook such a gross disinterest in the instruction of young minds. Only Tofter seems interested in performing his duties responsibly, but I have reservations in the manner with which he carries them.
Well, thank you for chatting.
Until next time.
Yes? I'm Master Groshub's apprentice. While I've been trained in the library arts, at the moment, my duties are rather limited.
Why is that?
There isn't much that Master can't handle already. I'm more of an understudy, someone who takes over if and when he retires. Which, at this rate, will be anywhere between someday and never. Alright then. The air is so thick in libraries. Master Groshub calls it character. I call it dust. Make sure to put the books back in the right shelf. Let me know if there's anything else you need. No, and it's not an exaggeration. I know Master Groshub looks old, well, because he is.
If a book's been checked
Way too
out.
old for an old. I'm sorry. It's just the professors come in here and scatter the books without any concern for the person who has to clean up. I thought it might be more efficient if I waited until the end of the day to put the books back on the shelves. Make sure to put the books back in the right
forced
shelf.
to wait until the end of the day as well? We'll need to have a word with Hurog regarding your training.
You can see me?
No,
But you can hear me, obviously. Something still isn't quite right. At least I'm making progress. So, you wish to master the arcane arts?
Insight. That sounds like a good idea. Clairvoyance shows the path to the goal. I think that is a most useful ability. Thank you.
Good day.
If you require assistance with summoning techniques, please let me know. If you would, please also contain your summons to the college grounds. The locals do not need to be agitated further by Atronachs roaming their town. The summoning of undead is even less advisable outside the college.
Understood. Summoning undead, isn't that frowned upon?
I sure know. Those archaic policies died out with the Mages Guild, and were never enforced here. Necromancy, as any other type of magic, is a tool to be used. Of course, non-mages may not see it that way, so we don't go around flaunting it.
It makes it impossible to determine if a book's been checked out.
I'm not so sure.
I'm sorry. It's just the professors come in here and scatter the books without any concern for the person who has to clean up. I thought it might be more efficient if I waited until the end of the day to put the books back on the shelves.
And shall I
Are there many
be forced to
conjurers
wait
outside
until the
the
end of the
college?
day as well?
Not within society, no. Many who practice within the School of Conjuration do so on their own, secretly. Falion is the only one I know who is public about what he does. He was once my teacher here, but left the college years ago.
Why did Falion leave the college?
He didn't like the Archmage, hated dealing with him, hated having to answer to him. Falion said he hated what this place was becoming, so he just left. Arin found a note on his desk, and that was it. I understand he settled down in Hjalmarch, and his presence there caused something of a problem.
Well, I'm sure undead would. I'm not so interested in undead. I think it's desecration. But don't worry, I'll keep my opinion to myself. Is there any assistance I can help you with?
Any information as to the whereabouts of the previous group of apprentices would be greatly appreciated.
Previous apprentices?
Until next time.
Missing people. Well, perhaps they just went off to do their own thing.
I wish Master Jarvis would make his books visible before returning them. Every time I approach him about an overdue book, it's the same story.
Tell me about the library.
The Arcanium is a very prestigious library, with many of its books going back to the Second Era. The more delicate tomes are kept under lock and key, but you're welcome to browse the outer collection at your leisure.
Can any of the books be purchased?
Master Groshov has a list of books unfit for the collection. Frivolous works by academic standards, but still interesting reads. Talk to him if you want more information.
What other responsibilities is an apprentice?
Recently, I've been tasked with updating the college dictionary, which is a thankless but important job. Dictionaries are critical tools for preserving language, and they allow future generations to communicate with their ancestors.
Isn't a dictionary more or less static?
Not necessarily. Master says spoken language is a living, breathing organism, always evolving and shedding old skin. In contrast, the written word is both living and dead. It's filled with babies and grandparents. My job is to introduce you to them.
Have you run into any difficulties?
Just one. In the interest of efficiency, Master insists that I only make updates when there are at least 10 new words worth adding. Well, if he's going to be so rigid about it, I'm going to speed the process by developing some of my own.
Example of a newly crafted
Sure.
word?
You know how people use animals as verbs or gerunds? Like ferreting out, or squirreling about, or wolfing down? Well, I thought, why not apply the same logic to trolls? I find trolls to be very fierce, but honest creatures. The way I see it, trolling could mean stating your opinion, but with honesty and passion. You know, the same way a troll fights.
Trolling? Are you trolling me right now?
Well, sort of, I think.
Any interesting rumors?
Just the one. Let's just say Neri and Faralda are having Sergius enchant more than just items.
Seems Sergius has much to teach us all.
I don't even want to imagine what kind of lessons you're referring to, so I won't. All right, then.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
We're clear. Are there any special books you're looking for?
As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador? Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian, and devoted all his time to research and study. But more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
That does sound really good. What have you got for sale?
Assorted books, scrolls. I'm sure you'll find something useful.
ABCs for barbarians. Another time, perhaps.
Until next time.
practice. Come. Fight and practice. Well, it's easy. Oh, how wonderful that is. I feel warmer already. There's my magicka drains. All color drains from this world.